I'd now like to request Mr. S Ramadorai to propose a formal welcome address.
Good evening, everyone. Shri P. Chidambaram, Honorable Finance Minister, Shri Jairam Ramesh, Honorable Minister for Rural Development, Dr. Montek Singh Ahluwalia, Deputy Chairman Planning Commission, Dr. Abhijan Mayaram, Secretary DEA, Chairman of the Sector Councils and leaders from industry, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. It's a privilege to have amongst us the Honorable Finance Minister for the launch of the National Skill Certification and Monetary Reward Scheme. I recall that the need of private sector involvement in addressing the skills challenge in the country was presented way back in the 2008 budget speech by our Honorable Shri Chidambaram. His leadership and constant support to the National Skill Mission is a source of great motivation to the entire team. The significance of the scheme is evident from the fact that yesterday it found a mention in the Independence Day speech of our Honorable Prime Minister. I welcome Shri Jairam Ramesh and Dr. Montek Singh Ahluwalia. Your presence here today lends support to the importance of the scheme and its potential catalytic role in encouraging youth across the country to acquire work-related skills. Officials of the Government of India, my colleagues from industry, members of the NSDC board, chairmen and members of the Sector Skill Councils and all stakeholders, I look forward to your advocacy for greater participation of youth in the scheme. Awareness generation is a critical first step to success. By availing the benefits of the National Skill Certification and Monetary Reward Scheme, young people could change the course of their life. I wish the trainees of the first pilot program who are present with us today the very best as they embark on this journey. We also have amongst us today a number of young persons from Jammu and Kashmir who are undergoing training as part of the UDAN program in Delhi. During his budget speech this year, Honorable Finance Minister announced a special scheme, and once the budget was passed, the process of fleshing out began. The launch today is the outcome of a lot of teamwork involving several stakeholders in which the Finance Ministry has played a very critical role. The objective while developing the scheme is to encourage deserving young people to get skilled. While doing so, what is being kept in mind is that the skill sets being developed in various trades are based on standards determined by employers and that they fetch jobs with the right wages and provide upward mobility. To enable this, there has been a series of consultations with industry, employers and the Sector Skill Councils. The scheme visualizes the Sector Skill Councils, SSCs, to carry out an occupation mapping of their sectors and develop what we call as the National Occupation Standards. They will develop qualification packs for the entry-level jobs for levels 1 through 4 as envisaged under the National Qualification Framework. These standards could then be used by any training organization to deliver training. Authorized assessors could then carry out third-party assessments. The role and quality of the assessors will be key to ensuring that the student outcomes would be met. On successful certification, the candidates would be given a certificate issued by the SSC. Finally, the reward money would be transferred to the bank account of the candidate. The candidate is expected to pay at least 25% of the course fees, and the reward money could be used to pay part of the course fees. A brochure containing the details of the scheme is placed on the table in front of you. As far as the Sector Skill Councils are concerned, the NSDC board has approved 21 of them till date. It's again envisaged that eventually around 40 Sector Skill Councils will be formed, covering high growth, high employment and key unorganized sectors. As the scheme was being formulated, parallel work was going on with the industry to develop a series of pilots that will be launched as the first phase of the scheme. 9 Sector Skill Councils have initiated pilots, and another 8 have also developed occupation standards that are under public consultation. The pilots will test out the end-to-end implementation of the scheme. This involves several processes such as developing standards, getting training organization aligned to the curriculum, delivery of courses that result in outcomes, and absolutely the outcomes that meet the standards of the employer. This includes the process of assessment and certification and capturing of the data electronically so that we develop a national skills register. The role of the sector councils is key, particularly in identifying credible assessors that ensures certification is valued by employers. Once the entire ecosystem is tested through pilots, corrections, if any, can be made, then it becomes repeatable and hence absolutely scalable. The scheme would build the credibility that is needed to motivate young people to undertake skill development programs. Success depends on all stakeholders playing their part in building an ecosystem that transforms the skills landscape, that demonstrates that skilling oneself is a path towards empowerment and upward mobility. The launch of the National Skill Certification and Monetary Reward Scheme is only the first step. The journey has begun. Let us reaffirm our commitment to the vision of skilling the nation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.